Hello everyone, in this episode of Day Job presented by Sparesbox, we begin stage 2 of the build of our XR6 Turbo Bazza. Now, cutting up an XR6 Turbo made some people happy, some people mad, and some people sad. But most importantly for us, it was a whole bunch of fun, which was the entire point of the build. Now, many have asked, why would you cut up a perfectly good XR6 Turbo? Well, all I can say to that is, it wasn't a perfectly good XR6 Turbo. It has over 250,000 kilometres on the clock. Every single exterior panel was either scratched or dented. The interior was terrible, the roof lining was hanging, the seats didn't work, there was junk and filth everywhere. This car was on the way to a wrecker, not on the way to some collector's car collection. That's why we cut it up to have some fun. In fact, we had so much fun, way more fun than I ever anticipated, that we've decided to start stage 2 of our XR6 Turbo build. Basically, we're now going to do the mods that everyone probably thought we were going to do initially. But those performance upgrades are now going to be in a body that weighs 500 kilos less. So first up, it's off to Empire Mechanical and Racing, so we can do a dyno run, get our baseline to see where we start. Then we're going to go get some parts for this thing and get this party started. You're the Barra expert here.
Yeah. What
would a dead stock XR6 Turbo automatic make at the tyres, and obviously now you've got a hub dyno at the hub? What are you thinking?
I'm going to say probably about 240 kilowatt.
Oh wow! Wow, you are way more optimistic than me.
Yeah.
My seat of the pants driving like engineering calculation, I would be surprised if it made 150 kilowatts at the tyres, so maybe 180, 170 kilowatts at the hubs?
Well, see, I'm saying at the hub, look, on my normal roller dyno, I used to see around about 200 kilowatt, 195, so I'm saying hub maybe a little bit more, but we'll soon find out.
You're very optimistic about
We'll soon find out.
I reckon 180.
Is it the hubs, mind you?
Yeah, 180 the wheels, so whatever that turns into, like 220?
We're 180, 190.
I'm going to say around about 220 as well.
Yeah.
If you have a look at the boost curve, you can see that the wastegate or the actuator, one of them is struggling to try and control boost, and it's just fluctuating during the run. It doesn't stabilise till probably over 4,500 RPM, and even then, it's actually 4.5 pound, and it just sort of creeps up to like 5 right at the very end. But down here, we're talking like 3.8 pound at the bottom of that cycle, and at the top, it's like 4.7. So it's not even 5 pound of boost for pretty much the entire run. So the good news about that is there's a lot more power to be made.
That's it.
Now, apparently the internet thinks I don't like Barretts, but I will say I'm actually kind of impressed, not by the power outright, but it has 5 pound of boost up top and less down low, and it still made 205, 206.
Yeah, 206 kilowatt.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's not bad.
For an old
5 pounds, yeah.
What would they normally have boost-wise, do you see, just a regular?
Well, they always fluctuate, like some of them are 5, some of them are 10, just depends. Like usually, somewhere around about 8 and 9 pounds, they're making around about 220, 230. Yeah. But that's pretty much bang on the money. 5 pounds, 205, 206 kilowatt, pretty much bang on.
Does that tell you it's healthy? Like, would you?
It sounds really healthy, yeah. 100%.
So you're happy to go valve springs, head studs, oil pump, and
let's start turning it up.
Yeah. All right. Can we tune it? So rather than trying to get it onto boost as fast as possible and try and have really beefy mid-range, the car's so light that if we do that, we'll just turn the tyres.
Yeah, that's right.
Can we tune some mid-range out of it and make all the top end kind of
we can make the boost come on, a little bit slower and sort of like bring the boost on a little bit later. Well, that's what kills these VA.
That's what I was going to say. That's what kills GBRs as well.
What kills them is the initial big boost hit, and they just throw it right. That's what kills them.
So if we smooth it out, is there any reason why we can't drive this thing on 400 kilowatts like no problem. But the auto's going to go, right?
Well, the autos, the BTRs, yeah, they're not the best.
Now, the biggest thing when it comes to modifying your turbocharged car is the breathing modifications, the intake, the manifolds, and the intercooler and the intercooler piping and the exhaust. Now, when it comes to performance parts for a Falcon, the only place we're ever going to go is to Plazmaman here in Sydney. Now, believe it or not, these guys actually started making parts for the Barra-powered Falcon when they first came out in 2003. So these guys are super experienced with the Falcon and over 25 years of experience as a fabrication shop. As a side note, when they started work on the Falcon, that actually helped turn Plazmaman from a custom fabrication shop into a parts manufacturer. But they don't just make stuff for the Barra, they make stuff for Coyote and LS V8s. They do 6-cylinder stuff with 2J and RB, they do SR, they do 4G, and a whole bunch more stuff as well. You've seen their parts on some of the quickest True Street and Pro Street GDRs, and a whole bunch of Time Attack Evos. Daigo Saito in Japan uses their product on the 2Js. Adam LZ uses their stuff, so we don't need to talk too much about how good the product is. We're just going to give you a quick look around the shop, and then we'll talk about what parts we're going to use on our Falcon.
Plazmaman split up over 3 facilities, one dedicated to fabrication, one dedicated to machining, and one dedicated to storage. What we'll do now is we'll take you on a tour of the CNC factory. Let's go have a look.
One of the most important upgrades for the XR6 Turbo is the intercooler and piping. We opted for Plazmaman's 1000 horsepower intercooler kit so we could future-proof for more power later on. The kit comes with the intercooler, brackets, all of the intercooler piping, an intake and filter, and all of the wiring and all the little bits and pieces you need to make it a true bolt-on kit. It's a proven high-quality bolt-on package. For the inlet, you can get a top half forward-facing inlet manifold or a complete replacement inlet manifold. This removes the complicated factory intake runners as it's designed for outright horsepower, where low-down torque isn't the priority. With our car being so light and wanting to conserve the stock bottom end, reducing bottom end power and some mid-range torque will work in our favour and what we had planned to do anyway. The inlet manifold also future-proofs the combination for when we build the engine and aim for 1000 plus. The 6061 T65 billet aluminium inlet manifold uses O-rings to seal, and the 3mm heavy-duty dome is rated to over 200 psi. The kit allows the use of the factory throttle body with extensions for the wiring, but can be had with other throttle body options. There is a billet fuel rail with provisions for AN fittings and 14mm top feed injectors. The quality is incredible, and it not only looks great, it's proven to work.
Right now we're specialising in Barra parts, simply because my brother over there at Empire Mechanical Racing is just, you know, the Barra person at the moment in Sydney. Every second car that comes in a shop, mate, is a Barra. So why not do it? Why not manufacture the parts? Why not make sure that everything that we have, we use in our builds? At the end of the day, we wanted to make parts for our customers that are guaranteed. And if there's ever going to be an issue, they can come back, show us, I'll give them another part, we can get them going, help them with whatever's gone wrong, but at the same time, we can test that product so we can go and say to us, okay, well, this is the problem, now we need to fix it. At the moment, we're using GFB, Aeroflow, obviously for their boosted, and we use Nulon. We don't use too many other products because we're trying to keep everything our own. So for us to do that, I think it's the best way. That way we can warranty everything and we can always keep track of what we're doing. When it comes to packages, for instance, with my brother again at his shop. Now a customer rings up and says, I want X amount of power on my motor. We give him what he wants. If my brother rings me from there and says, okay, well, Rod, you know what? This guy's coming for a 1000 horsepower package. I'm happy for him to go pick up the parts from you. Can you give him what he wants? I know exactly what they want. I'll give them what they need. They go there, Omar deals with the situation, builds them a cracker motor. Mate, they're 100% satisfied with what we've done. When I seen him cut up the XR6, I thought, you know what? There's got to be something to it. He ain't going to cut the car up for no reason. Now, there's something going on, obviously, and it's just going to get better and better. So personally, I'll just sit back and watch like everyone else is going to do, because I'm guaranteeing you something's coming up.
The parts list for our XR6 Turbo stock bottom end build is a tried and proven package that fixes the Barra's shortcomings. Empire Elite billet oil pump gears, Empire Elite billet oil pump backing plate, Empire Elite heavy duty timing chain kit, Empire Elite valve springs which stop valve float when you increase the boost, Empire Elite head studs which help with head sealing under higher cylinder pressures, and we also got an Empire Elite Turbo oil drain feed kit, which helps stops oil supply issues. We also got some Empire Elite dress-up parts for the engine bay as well, including oil cap, power steering, brake master and ECU covers. We got Empire Elite upgraded fuel injectors, and they also supplied us with a larger in-tank fuel pump, along with Go Fast Bits EX44 external wastegate and fuel pressure regulator.